Okay, good afternoon, Miss Kisagan, the Chile, and Susie. Thank you for logging in. Kinsa pa na adere. Okay, there are now 5 who are logged in sa atong week number 5 na online class sa aning nga subject, leadership and decision making. Okay, so good afternoon, Miss Cassis. Maklaro ba kung tingog? Maklaro po tingog? Miss Kisagan, Miss De Chile, Miss Susie and Cassis. Can you hear my voice? Yes, sir. Klaro kayo. Okay, thank you for confirming. Kaya abi na kog ako ra may klaro. Okay, so where are your classmates? Naka-post na ang link dito sa inyong group chat. Okay, thank you also Miss Kisagan for confirming na klaro ang ako ang tingog. Okay, as of the present moment, na ay 6 pa nga naka-login. Dugay-dugay pa ning uban. Okay, good afternoon, Miss Abakahin. Okay, where are the others? Okay, so good afternoon, Miss Magadan. Okay, so let us start. As posted earlier, there are 9 subtopics sa atong main topic. So again, dito sa inyong group chat, akong gi-mention dito nga MWF atong klase kay taas-taas ng ato ang mga topics. Okay, so good afternoon, Miss Luklok, Miss Peñalosa, and Miss Vicente ML. Okay, so let us start. Okay, so kining gi-prepare nako is kung inyo ang i-print is 15 pages na siya. So motong MWF ang ato ang klase. Okay, so first let me post this quote from Warren Bennis. Okay, becoming a leader is synonymous with becoming yourself. It is precisely that simple and it is also that difficult. According to Warren Bennis, author, scholar, and leadership expert. Okay. Sana nga quote gikan ni Warren Bennis, unsa inyong pagsabot anha? Becoming a leader daw is synonymous with becoming yourself. Okay, so kindly explain your own opinion. Ganong inganhang iyahang pagkasulat. Okay, so good afternoon, Miss Nerio. Again, sa mga bago pa nakasulod, na ay quote gikan ni Warren Bennis, part ni sa atong topic. Okay, according niya, becoming a leader is synonymous with becoming yourself. It is precisely that simple and it is also that difficult. So simple ko na siya at the same time difficult. Okay, so please explain unsa inyong pagsabot sa giingon ni Warren Bennis. Okay, so that will serve as your question number 1. Okay, bisan short lang. So that is your question number 1 or your participation or activity number 1 para sa anhi nga klase. So explain your own idea of the code mentioned above by Warren Bennis. Okay, so while nag-wait ta sa others, makauna na mo sa inyong answers. Okay, good afternoon, Miss Kainglet and Miss Ampalayo, and to Miss Raganas. Okay, so posted na diha ang atong first question. Explain your own idea of the quote mentioned above by Warren Bennis. So becoming a leader daw is synonymous with becoming yourself. It is precisely that simple, and at the same time, it is also that difficult. So please share your thoughts regarding the quote from Warren Bennis. So while naguna-huna mo na, let us proceed sa atuang lecture. Okay? So please listen carefully. Kay ang inyong buhaton ani is sabton ninyo ang akong gipang mention diri kay analytics atong gamiton karon mag-analyze. Okay, so from the book, this is from the book, The 9 Types of Leadership, Mastering the Art of People in the 21st Century. So muna siya nga book akong gi-base ang atong lecture karon. Okay. So good afternoon, Mr. Neljan Villadares. Let us start. So have you ever had a manager that you just couldn't get along no matter how hard you tried? So sana na siya question according sa aning book. Then have you ever suffered through a team meeting feeling bothered by a coworker or kung sa inyong situation, classmates, okay, for reasons you couldn't quite put into words, much less do anything about it. Okay, so muna siya ang intro sa aning libro. So let us proceed. While I was finishing, so muning gikuan sa author ang iyang reflection, iyang gisulat. While I was finishing graduate school, I worked in a large restaurant owned by a woman who created more problems than she solved as she attempted to direct the day-to-day workings of the business, whether she was planning menus with the kitchen staff or interacting with the manager, waiters, and bartenders. She wreaked havoc everywhere she went. She criticized people unfairly, leveled accusations at innocent bystanders, and caused unnecessary stress for everyone through excessive micromanaging and nitpicking. Whenever she left the building, all of her capable employees heaved a collective sigh of relief, and the business of the restaurant ran more smoothly and peacefully. The worst part, of course, was that she had no idea she was having such a negative effect or negative impact on the people around her. And her employees who suffered under her leadership believed it would be hopeless to even try to talk to her about the problem. Okay? So muna siya. Later na nako basahon ang answers ni Miss Nerio. Okay, so let us continue. Coincidentally, during this period, I was also studying the approach to improving self-awareness and communication that this book is all about. So muna siya ang purpose sa aning nga book. Ano nakasulat ng author kay personal experience niya. By using this model of personality, I was able to recognize why my boss was likely doing the things she was doing and figure out what I could do to get along with her. I knew I couldn't change her, but by identifying specific patterns in her behavior, I could understand her personality and shift the way I interacted with her in a way that ultimately transformed our working relationship. Nearly everyone has experienced some kind of people problem at some point in their life or their working lives or sa inyong situation, inyong college life. So, a manager they had trouble with or a direct report they didn't know how to get through to, or a client they couldn't fully understand. In every area of life, this kind of relationship confusion can be frustrating and problematic, but in the workplace, it causes extra stress because your livelihood and your everyday happiness are often at stake. Again, in the workplace, it causes extra stress because your livelihood, ang imong panginabuhi, and your everyday happiness are often at stake. Okay? This is compounded by the fact that in the 21st century organization, every employee is rightly encouraged to think of themselves as a leader, a designation that comes with seemingly endless challenges beyond just doing your job. Being a leader in this new work world means dealing with the fast pace of change, the need to improve communication to foster better collaboration, and the need to relate to an increasingly diverse workforce. Okay, take note, diverse workforce. Okay, lahi-lahi ang atohang mga attitudes in the workplace. More than ever, leaders need reliable tools to help them decode and resolve the misunderstandings and relationship problems that happen all the time. In business, large and small, this book, according to the author, and the remarkable personality framework it presents, is one such tool. It provides an amazingly useful method for understanding yourself and others so you can master the art of relating to the people you work with in the office or in the workplace in a way that will impact both the bottom line and your quality of life. So medyo makarelate na mo ani kay nanamoy mo nakahuman na mo sa subject na understanding yourself. Right? Okay? So, before tamo proceed sa subtopic number 1, we have answers here from Miss Nerio. Becoming a leader, we must be who we are, even though it is hard, difficult, or easy, because when we lead, it shows our characteristics and attitudes. Okay, so Ilando, good afternoon. Miss Alim. So we also have answer from Miss Kisagan. The quote emphasizes that being a leader, you need to show your real personality, the real you. It may seem easy, but the truth is that it's hard since you need to balance everything. Okay? That is also true sa atong panahon karon. And also from Miss Magadan, regarding to the quote of Mr. Warren Bennis, it something says that as a leader, you should know how to handle everything, because being a leader, you should be responsible enough to do what your obligation is. So kung ikaw sa ka-leader, dapat kabalo ka kung unsa ang imuhang obligation para sa imong kagalingon o para sa ang imong mga nasakupan. Then we have here from Ms. Abakahin, becoming a leader, we must show our true attitude to face different consequences, even if it is hard or easy. And then from Miss Susie, becoming a leader is also knowing yourself. You must understand your good and bad attitude because it reflects who you are and how you treat your people. Okay, so nagamit na gid niya yung subject sa una nga understanding yourself. Okay, so very good. So, wala pa ba yung mag-answer? Okay, so good afternoon, Miss Dadang. Welcome to our online class. Natay na post na question dito. Usa ka quote. Please answer. Na dito ang question number 1. And then we have here Miss Kainglet. In my own idea, it was very difficult if we're stating about our attitude or value that we can do. If we're precisely simple, we can achieve our significant point because we can barely do or handle it. Okay, so thank you, Miss Kainglit. And from Miss Allen, becoming a leader, it's like becoming yourself also. It takes time for you to handle yourself, same as handling your members. It takes time to knowing yourself, to able to understand yourself better. Okay, so thank you for your thoughts sa mga nag-answer sa atong question number 1. So let us proceed sa subtopic number 1. I think subtopic number 1 is the problem. Okay, so this is our subtopic number 1. Ang title niya is The Problem, the need for effective leadership that can rise above ego. Okay, so good afternoon, Miss Abisada. Then before tamo proceed sa ato ang next na topic, we have answers from Miss Dagondon and Mr. Veliadores. So according to Miss Dagondon, yes, it's true, for if you as an individual is making visible your true self, it can be concluded as a leader. And yes, it's simple, but we all have different attitudes hidden in ourselves, so it can also be difficult to determine. Okay, very good. Then we have here from Mr. Veliadores. According to Warren Bennis, it says that as a leader, we must have a capacity to develop and improve skills by your own. Okay? So, understanding yourself, yun siya. Very good sa mga nag-answers. So, let us proceed sa the problem. the need for effective leadership that can rise above ego. So good afternoon, Miss Gamo. So let me read the subtopic. The problem, the need for effective leadership that can rise above ego. So in our current era, leaders face more tests of their capacities and resilience than ever. Business is becoming more global. New technologies are changing the way work happens at a continually accelerating rate, and existential threats like terrorism, political gridlock, and the health of the planet hang over everything we do, charging our lives with anxiety and fear and the pressure to keep up. Okay, so parehas na ni karon Lazada, Shopee. So, na siya worldwide na negosyo. Okay, global business. Usa lang ka click na kay order. Wala rin ka kung kanus ang maabot ang imong gi-order. So, let us continue. In the face of these challenges, we desperately need leaders who can rise above the narrow focus of their own ego concerns, create bold visions to get results, and mobilize people to take action in service of ambitious agendas. But what exactly does it mean to rise above your ego concerns? And how do we define ego? Again, how do we define ego? So let us continue. Both psychological theory and age-old wisdom traditions tells us that we human exist in a kind of waking sleep or limited consciousness. So let me just post this. Waking sleep or limited consciousness. As we grow up, we go to sleep to certain aspects of our life, experience as a way of protecting ourselves from inevitable hurts that happen to us from the outside world. It's a natural human reflex to protect ourselves, and so, starting in childhood, we automatically avoid becoming aware of experiences that cause us to feel difficult emotions like pain, shame, anger, or fear. If we were punished for getting angry, we may lose touch with our anger. If we felt insecure about whether people like us, we might excessively care take we might excessively care, take others, overcompensate by adopting a superior attitude. As we continually adapt to our environment, we gradually lose touch with certain aspects of our experience that threaten us or make us uncomfortable. At the same time, we develop a persona that emphasizes what works, the ways we think we can control ourselves and the world around us so that we can get what we need and avoid what feels bad. That persona, masked or false self we develop is the ego or personality, the executive director of our waking sleep self. Its purpose is to help us to feel okay enough to get around in the world. The downside is eventually builds a wall around us that serves as a kind of defensive buffer against being aware of parts of ourselves of our experience. So, let me pose kung unsa daw tong ego. Okay. Okay, so posted na ang definition sa ego according sa atong author. Okay, good afternoon, Miss Montoya and si JM Talara. So later atong basahon na inyong gipang comment. Okay, so let us continue. Namatadapit. Okay, so next paragraph. Through this process of going unconscious, we develop blind spots or parts of ourselves that we go asleep to as a way of getting through life and not getting hurt. As Carl Jung observed, we all have our shadows or parts of ourselves that we remain unconscious to or don't want to see. So ato isang gitaguan, di na to sila gusto ipagawas. And because without knowing it, we become unaware of some things that are true about ourselves. We often don't know ourselves as well as we think we do. So, para sa katong mga pangapilan sa nag-seminar, na imurang mga classmates ra nakabalo nga naadi kay nga personality. Pero ikaw kakabalo. Kaya ang imuhara mga classmates ang nakapansin ana na personality. So, na-exist na siya, okay? So, instead, when it comes to who we really are and why we do the things we do, we often only see ourselves as our personality or ego or self-image, the person we want others to see. So we become limited by the fact that we don't know all of who we are and don't know that we don't know. And when we don't understand who we really are, both in terms of what we defensively hide from ourselves and our higher potentials, it's hard for us to grow and develop the people skills we need to be as successful as we can be in our personal and professional lives. Luckily for us, we are living at a very exciting moment in history. More and more visionary business leaders understand that the ancient maxim, know thyself, is the great formula for positive outcomes at work as well as in life. Individuals in all walks of life are realizing that success in any kind of work occurs when the individuals working together are self-aware and emotionally intelligent. So dili lang kay intelligent lang sa head, emotionally intelligent pod, as mentioned here. When they can acknowledge their blind spots and more consciously manage their feelings and reactions, empathize with others, and navigate social situations with skill and sensitivity. Many people are increasingly open to the idea that becoming aware of our unconscious habits and motives is the first step to growing far beyond our self imposed limitations. While as humans, we fall asleep to all of who we are, we also have the inborn capacity to wake up and live from a more enlivened and contented sense of all of who we can be in our personal and professional lives. Okay, so let us read sa mga nag-answer. Okay, we have here from Ilundo. True leaders must understand themselves, possess both vision and ability. And from Loklok, being a leader is an easy and well-rounded skill, but every circumstances there are challenges that what they you do can be developed. Also, have faith to yourself and especially to those people who trust in your ability. And from Mr. Talara, to be a leader, we must be ourselves. It's quite hard for the reason that you need to be meticulous in every steps that you make. Okay, so very good. Then we have here, okay, good afternoon, Mr. Abelio and Miss Montoya. Kinsa pa yung nakasulod bag-o? Wala na. So, let us continue reading the answers for question number 1. From Miss Peñalosa regarding to the quote of Warren Bennis, it says that becoming a leader reflects on personality or attitudes do you have by identifying your strengths and weaknesses. And from Miss Gamo, being a leader, you have responsibilities that you need to do, being positive always. And then continuation from Miss Peñalosa, it is hard, but we need to be more responsible in order to become a great leader. And from Miss De Chile, based on the quote, rather than seeing leadership as a title or as an extra role to play alongside the day job, experience it as becoming of who you are. Okay, very good. Diha mo makita ang imuhang true self if involved na ang other people. Okay, then from Miss Raganas, to become a leader, we must show our true attitude and know how to walk my own paths. I must explain my thoughts and actions to ourselves rightfully so that I can explain them to others simply or simple. And then from Miss Dadang, becoming a leader isn't easy, but no matter what happened, we have to be true to yourself and know how to handle in every circumstances came or that will came in your life ourselves. Okay. So kinsa pang wala naka-answer? And then sa atong subtopic, any questions sa atong subtopic? Nga the problem, kuno, the need for effective leadership that can rise above ego. So kung kita magita na ay ego, so unsaon ako nato kuno pag-rise above the ego para mahimutag effective na leader. Okay? So unsaon man nimo pag-rise sa imong kaugalingon nga ego? Okay, so first you need to acknowledge nga inganha gid ta. Okay? And then when we acknowledge nga natay ingana nga problem, dali ra nato matagaan og solution. Okay? Kung dili ka makahatag og solution sa imong kaugalingon, pwede ka makapangayog solution sa imong mga kauban para makita kung unsa ang problem. And then ma-address na ang problem, ato din mahatagan og solution. So, nga na ang effective leadership or effective leader, knowing that you do not know. Okay? Then answer from Miss Gamo, great leader requires great responsibility. If you fail, try again. Being a leader is not easy. And then from Mr. Abilio, being a leader has a self-discipline, knows how to love his people, and God-fearing. Okay, very good. Daghan na nag-answer. So, question number 2, regarding sa atong subtopic. Okay, so question number 2. How do you rise above your ego? Okay? So, mata siya ang atong subtopic, the problem. And then, we go to subtopic number, sa mga topic. Number 2, the solution. So, another topic na po na siya, in continuation sa atong previous topic, katong the problem. So, anita sa the solution. Knowing what makes a leader successful. Okay? So if good leadership is more important than ever, how do we get it? What exactly makes a good leader? emotional intelligence, author Daniel Goleman has famously addressed this question at length in his books and popular Harvard Business Review articles. Number one, it turns out, according to research as well as the testimony of people who have studied and worked with leaders extensively, the key factors in high quality leadership are self awareness. Again, I will post this. According to research, muna siyang full na answer. According to research as well as testimony of people who have studied and worked with leaders extensively, the key factors in high quality leadership are self awareness, that is, the ability. Okay, so that is the ability to be mindful or conscious about what you do, how you do it, and why you do it. And emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions, and the capacity to recognize, understand, and empathize with the emotions of others. Okay, so muna ayang gi-mention dito, self-awareness. So increasingly, it's becoming clear that the 21st century leaders must have excellent people skills to be successful. They need to have ways to understand themselves and listen to others not only at the surface level but at a deeper, less visible, more emotional level. In becoming more aware and mindful of more of what is happening within themselves and others, leaders need to purposefully apply themselves to developing more flexibility and skill in managing the ways people with different worldviews interact. Most importantly, and undergirding all of this, they must be able to develop a kind of moment to moment awareness of themselves and be able to maintain the inner space to reflect on and understand their own assumptions, reactions, emotions, and behavior. Okay, so that is the solution now. Knowing what makes a leader successful is self-awareness. Okay? So, nanay nag-answer sa ato ang question number 2 from Miss Magadan. For me, I can rise above my ego by bringing inner peace into myself. So, mura lang ni katong animation nga movie, Kung Fu Panda. Kinsa nakita sa Kung Fu Panda. Okay? Inner peace. According sa nagdala si Fu. Bato si Fu? Katong panda. Then, okay, good afternoon, Mr. Babia. And then we have here Miss De Chile. I can rise above my ego by being open and practice forgiveness. Okay? So, kinsa pa mag-answer sa question number 2? Again, sa akong i-post ganina, earlier diri sa atong live stream. Nahumana ta sa subtopic number 1 and subtopic number 2. We only have 7 more subtopics to go. So, kinsa pa diha ang mag-answer? Wala nang uban, 12 na lang nabilin. Okay, so let us continue. Subtopic number 3. Okay, so before that na si Miss Kisagan nag-answer and Miss Peñalosa. So let us read first. Answer from Miss Kisagan. I can rise above my ego through controlling the unuseful thoughts in my mind and pursuing self-focus and concentration. And from Miss Peñalosa, for me, it is knowing how you gain control over mind and bringing peace to your life. It is how you listen to other people's opinion. Okay. From Montoya, stop comparing yourself to others. Okay, so that is also knowing your worth as a person. So you stop comparing yourself to others because other people have their own experiences. You also have your own experience. So naglahi gid mo. So do not compare yourself to others. And from Neil Jan, I rise above my ego by being humble of all things. Okay, so simple ra kayong answer ni Mr. Villadores. One sentence. Mind over matter. Okay, yes, Miss Peñalosa. So, answer from Miss Kainglit, I can rise above my ego to manage and familiarize more about myself. Therefore, I am very acceptable of what I have or have not. Okay, so thank you, Miss Kainglit, for sharing your thoughts. So let us proceed. Subtopic number 4. Why are self-awareness and emotional intelligence the most vital factors in excellent leadership? So, mo ni siya. Okay, so before ako i-post na i-answer si Miss Dadang, I rise above my ego by learning how to gain control over mind and thoughts. Kay gaining control sa imuhang pagunahuna o sa imuhang thinking capacity. Okay, so next subtopic in relation sa atong solution. Okay, so napay answer si Miss Alim. In order to arise above your ego is to accept first your flaws. Okay, very good. And you should know how to consider other people and their feelings as well as you should give importance to yourself to become effective. Okay, so muna siya, love yourself first. Kay kung dili nimo love ang imuhang kagalingon, kung saan nimo pag-love ang others. Okay, kay in the first place, wala kay love nga ikahatag. Kay bisan ang imong kagalingon, dili nimo love, so mura na siya kanang mangutang. Di ba? Kung may mangutang sa imo, unsa may kahatag nimo sa mangutangay kung ang imo pong kaugalingon wala kay kwarta. So para sa nga kung wala kay self-love, di po ka makalove sa others. Okay, so very good, Miss Allen. And then Miss Gamo, I can rise above my ego by accepting my wrongs and controlling temper. And then atong i-continue ang answer ni Miss Gamo. And then kanang kuan, dili na nimo siya otruhon kay kabalo naman ka siya. Lesson learned na dayon na siya sa imuhang wrong. Okay? Once you do wrong act, you should know na dili na siya otruhon. Then from Mr. Telara, for me, I can rise above my ego by controlling the thoughts that's going on my mind and have focus on the things to do. And from Ms. Raganas, I can rise above my ego, learn to gain control over mind and thoughts by developing focus and concentration and beliefs, mindset, and feelings. So, nagkapares-pares sa tanan, murag pares rang source, Google or Wikipedia. Okay, so let us proceed sa next nga subtopic. Why are self-awareness and emotional intelligence the most vital factors in excellent leadership? So dili na siya question nga inyong ansiran ha. Muna siya ang title sa atong subtopic basing inyohan ang ansiran. Okay? So before tayo mo continue sa ana nga subtopic, na answer si Mr. Abilio, I can rise above my ego to be humble. Okay? Thank you for sharing your opinions and thoughts, Mr. Abilio. So moving on, why are self-awareness and emotional intelligence the most vital factors in excellent leadership? So interestingly, it turns out that if you are unkind to people, if you regularly engender negative feelings in others, you tend not to be an effective leader. Being disrespectful and controlling and insensitive tends to be correlated with being bad at managing people. Of course, throughout history, there have undoubtedly been many examples of successful jerks, but more and more leaders who are self-centered, ego-driven, unaware of their own reactions, unskilled in managing their emotions, and unsympathetic with those of others, don't have success over the long haul or long run. After all, the work of doing business happens through people interacting with people. Even in our technological age, the ability of people to understand each other so they can communicate clearly and work together seamlessly without the personality conflicts and interpersonal tensions that can impede progress still underlies much of what makes leaders and their business successful. In the book Good to Be Great, Why Some Companies Make the Leap and Others Don't, author Jim Collins explains that the type of leadership required for turning a good company into a great one: self-effacing, quiet, reserved, a paradoxical blend of personal humility and professional will, more like Lincoln and Socrates than Patton or Caesar. More and more, it is becoming clear that the ability to achieve and maintain harmonious and productive working relationship depends on one thing: how well people involved have the humility and the will to understand and manage themselves and understand and relate well to others. Just like the rest of us, leaders can operate in one of two ways. So first, they can do the things they do in unconscious, automatic, and habitual way. Or second, they can do the things they do in a conscious, self-aware, more open, and creative way. Unconscious leaders operate from a narrow focus on doing what feels safe or what has worked before or what protects their identity or self-image. Protecting your sense of who you are and who you imagine others see you as you are is only natural, given that we all want to feel good about ourselves. But when defending a positive sense of your image is your top priority, all of your attention and energy gets focused on protecting your self-image or your ego. This is why unconscious leaders wind up stuck in a kind of defensive mode in which they run on fear, insecurity, and a narrow sense of self-interest, like my boss at the restaurant na dito iya gitrabahuhan katong dimension ganina katong boss niya nga babae sa restaurant. Okay? Conversely, conscious leaders operate from a place of practice, mindful awareness. They are able to observe the things they think, feel, and do, and act not just to protect their ego, but in the service of finding the most effective strategy to get optimal results and create positive relationships. Then last paragraph before ta mag-end sa atong klase. Pero taas pa ni atong topic ha, napay Monday, napay Wednesday, and Friday na pod. So kita-kita ta sa kuan ha, next week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So last paragraph before nako i-end ang class, og basahon tong uban answers sa inyong classmates. So this is the last paragraph sa aning nga topic. When a leader becomes more aware of their assumptions, their emotions, their motivations, and the impact of their behavior, they can not only manage themselves more skillfully, they can also talk about points of vulnerability from a position of strength, which makes them more approachable and accessible to others. When I worked at Stanford's Graduate School of Business as a group facilitator, the leadership experts there often noted that one of the key traits of a successful leader is the ability to selectively self-disclose vulnerability. Paradoxically, it takes a great deal of inner strength to discuss your own weak points, and this practice usually attracts rather than repels others. When leaders are honest about both their strengths and their weaknesses, they demonstrate the capacity to be open and authentic and model what real self awareness looks like. And this capacity gives them great power in achieving stronger working relationships. Okay, so muna siya ang last topic nga atong i-discuss karon. Ang uban nga topics katong aha na ba ta dapit? Mhm. Ato na ito sa subtopic number 6. Sa kajat lang sa title. Subtopic number 5 ta sa Monday, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay? So, before nako i-end ang class, we have answers here from Miss Abakahin. I can rise above my ego by proving myself that I can overcome different trials and stop comparing yourself to others. And then here we have from continuation from Abilio by listen more and talk less. Okay. From Miss Nerio, I can rise above my ego by accepting my flaws and failures. And from Miss Montoya, become a leader, engage honest, and be careful of words, what they say, and be a good example and be responsible. Okay? So, any questions sa atong ipang mention karon? So, in review sa atong ipangkuan rong adlaw. So, week number 5, November 6, 2020. Atong topic, the power of understanding yourself, and then subtopics nga na-mention na to or na-discuss. Number 1, the problem, the need for the effective leadership that can rise above ego. Subtopic number 2, the solution, knowing what makes a leader successful. And then subtopic number 3, why are self-awareness and emotional intelligence the most vital factors in excellent leadership. Then subtopic number 4, why are self-awareness and emotional intelligence the most vital factors in excellent leadership? Okay, so muna siya atong na-mention or na-discuss karon. And then if naamoy questions, pwede na maka-question karon. And then kini nga akong gibuhat nga or gi-base sa libro, ako na siyang i-post sa inyong GC para makita ninyo. Again, tama na to sa subtopic number 4. Sa Monday, we will discuss subtopic number 5 on words. Okay? Okay, I will post this sa inyong group chat. Okay, so kung wala na may question, pwede na ata maka-log out. I will see you on Monday. Okay? Yes, natay midterm exam, Miss Alem. Pero mag-schedule pa ta sa atong midterm exam. Okay, so thank you for logging in, Mr. Villadores. I will see you on Monday. Same time, same channel. Okay, thank you also, Miss Ale, Miss De Chile. Thank you for logging in and joining our class. So, posted na dito sa inyong group chat ang atong discussion for this day. Okay? Okay, so thank you also to Miss Dadang, Magadan, Nerio, Kisagan, and Peñalosa for logging in and joining our class. We will see each other on Monday for the continuation sa ato ang subtopic number 5 to number 9. Okay, thank you also, Mr. Talara, for logging in and joining our class. See you on Monday for the continuation of our subtopics number 5 to number 9. Also to Miss Gamu.